Hi Virgo, and welcome to your mid-month reading. This is for anybody that has their sun, moon, rising, their midheaven, and or Venus in the sign of Virgo, or just really any other natal placement that you are curious about. However, if you have found yourself upon this channel, there is a reason for it. I'm sure there is a message in here for you, and I pray that it finds you well. Your energy for this mid-month is it's a little dark, it's a little clouded, and it's interesting because I just finished doing Leo's reading beforehand, and it was a little bit more positive and upbeat, and the sun was out. And now that I'm on your video, it's like not as much lighting. Definitely there's clouds looming over the house. It got really dark. So I'm wondering what is going on, you guys. Let's get into your reading. What came out energetically was the Judgment card, followed by the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Okay, as far as the obstacles coming into the mid-month, you have the Devil card, followed by the Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords. Okay, in the last row we have the Three of Wands, end of July, and ways to move forward, followed by the King of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Devil is always busy. The devil is always busy trying to get you to believe something that is not true about yourself, right? Making you self-conscious and hypercritical about yourself and your own talents, right? That keeps you from potentially being able to be more expressive out in public as it pertains to your home life and your relationships, as far as being able to have dialogue with people and be understood as it relates to your own romantic relationships and or your social relationships in school, at work, just in outings, like if you go to the bars, right? It may affect your ability to communicate with other people, right? You're anxious because of that. For some people, as far as your natal charts are concerned, I feel like there will be a transition from all of the Leo energy that we are in to some Earth energy for some of you guys, and that is working in opposition against your natal air placements. And so that's easy to fix. You just have to figure out how to work with and integrate that energy into your daily life. Maybe when you feel conflicted with what you want to say, just being more of a listening ear instead, so that you don't say the wrong thing and or offend the wrong person. Definitely be your authentic self. Don't feel like you have to hold anything that you really want to say and get off of your chest back, but also just be careful with just being altogether careless. So I definitely want to say that. But there is something happening with this Judgment card. This also relates to the planet Pluto, which talks about transformation, which can talk about manipulation, which can talk about just complete regeneration of self, of one's self-identity. So that may be something that you work on coming into the mid-month, or something that you have been working on, and it's proven to be a bit uncomfortable because you have to shed light to some of the things that are dark, potentially depressing with these two combined, or that causes you to have guilt for the things that you feel, or for the things that you think, more so, right, with this Swords energy here. And sorry if it's not focused, but the Devil card can talk about like any fantasies that you have that you feel bad for. If you think about masturbation or pornography, right? If you think about having sex with your brother or with a cousin, or that has happened maybe in your childhood and you're not wanting to deal with that, I feel like it's kind of pushing these things out of you into the mid-month, and it's really uncomfortable. It's causing you to really want to run away from your problems, but nothing will ever be solved that way. So find a better way to deal with those emotions. Find a healthy way also to cope with them, because some of you guys can just fall into escapism and or drugs and or overindulgence with alcohol. Just putting yourself in situations that you don't need to be in. So if you feel like you have somebody that you can trust, definitely reach out to them and have a conversation with them. I feel like you can trust this person that you'll be reaching out to, and they will help lift your spirits. And that's what I'm getting. They'll be able to help you see with a new perspective. I can't say that this is an empathetic card, but they can definitely sympathize with what you're going through and help you through them. So you can be meeting with a counselor. That might be something that you're trying to seek out. Maybe it was mentioned sometime beforehand in another situation before you came across this video, right? In a conversation with a family member or a friend or a sibling. Somebody maybe once mentioned it to you and now you're hearing it again. This is a sign, and a positive sign, to try to get you to move on it with this Eight of Wands. It's something that you should take a little bit more seriously if this is not the first time that you have heard this, which is what I'm getting with this Judgment card. Something's happened that has happened before. If it's pertaining to your relationships, you need to recognize the pattern within the relationship, how controlling you may be in the relationship, how controlling other people may have been, how they kind of make you question your self-worth and your talents, your self-esteem, right? They might make you feel jealous, because the Eight of Wands can be a very sporadic energy, especially in the traditional tarot deck. Wands are flying everywhere, so that is uncontrolled energy. That can be feelings of jealousy, right? Why do they trigger you in such a way? You need to dig deep into that so that you can cut ties with that pattern that's been happening in your relationships. Some of you, as it pertains to your career that you've been working on for a while, you may have come out of a period of like leaving it alone. I don't really know how I'm trying to word that, but like, okay, let's take me for an example, right? I started recording videos in 2015, but then when I saw that there was no real progress being made, I got in my own head about it, and I stopped recording for a while. I was just super inconsistent, and part of that came from my own insecurity with not really knowing how to approach my business and really build on the brand itself and just the ideas that I had, right? So you may have done that. Something may have happened in your life that caused you to stop because you just had to put your focus elsewhere, and so you're revisiting what that dream was, what the goals that you have are, and how you plan to achieve those goals. But I feel like there's some self-doubt that is definitely creeping in, because it may have been a while again since you've touched on your talent, right? Since you've visited that aspect of yourself. It could be a hobby like singing or painting, or something that is involved with the media, speaking, writing, poetry, okay? That's coming through, that you're wanting to tap back into. And so that comes with a little bit of fear, because you are maybe a sensitive person more than you like to lead on. So you may be struggling with that, especially with this Devil energy and the Eight of Swords with the Page of Swords. But this is all about learning to speak to yourself in a different manner than how you have been. Not being so hypercritical. So speaking positive words of affirmation. And if you don't know how to do that, you can definitely Google it. I have to give you guys some homework too. I can't just feed you all the answers, right? But if that's something that you've been going through, definitely Google positive words of affirmation, and you can get really specific with what you need it to be like applied to. Like as far as just your own capabilities, as far as the job that you're trying to get, or that you're trying to establish. Whatever you're trying to do, only you know, right? Heed your own personal intuition. Definitely by the end of this month, you will have that. I'm just getting that there's going to be more of an integration of self by the end of the month, especially if you reach out for the help that you need. Very well, somebody just might be attracted to you coming into the end of the month, and so just by being who you are naturally, you might attract the person that you need at this time to help you move forward on this idea, or move forward in life. If you're deciding to give somebody a second chance as it pertains to a romantic relationship, it can ascend to new heights as long as you guys acknowledge what happened in the past, acknowledge the conflicts that you have had, and really make it a point to turn the page and start anew. So whatever you feel like you have been holding on to, you guys need to hash it out for real in order for it to move forward. It cannot be revisited once you have that final conversation, right? So you need to have trust in this person that they have done the work. There's quite a few wands cards here which speak about action, so you just have to trust that they have been putting in the work to be better for themselves. And you have a king here, so any women that are watching this video, he is more mature, definitely can control his emotions and his impulses a lot better. That is more goal oriented, that is more driven, that is more focused, that can concentrate on the tasks at hand. So this is somebody that you can build with. But if they are coming back from the past, don't be afraid to pray about it. Pray to the universe about it. If you don't believe in God or you're not religious, just putting good energy out there so that it can be returned back to you. But if you have to second guess whether or not you really want that person back, I wouldn't take that as the most positive sign and as a green light to go ahead and put yourself in the same situation. So again, recognizing the pattern. If you're too willing to take people back before they can really show you who they are, you need to get to the bottom of that. You know what I'm saying? So just be a little bit more self-aware. But don't doubt yourself and don't doubt your abilities, because especially if you're working on something that is business oriented, you are talented, and somebody may be actually telling you by the end of the month to kind of keep you going just how much they appreciate your craft and your work, and that like just confirms how much of a badass you are, right? It gives you more belief in yourself to keep pushing. So that's what I'm picking up for you guys. As far as chakras go, your heart chakra is underactive. The root chakra needs to be realigned. It's overactive a little bit. Heed your own personal intuition again. So the third eye, crown chakra, get that into alignment, and your sacral chakra. And the throat chakra, because I am seeing blue. Matter of fact, just balance all of them. It does not hurt to read the article that I leave in the description box below if you aren't already familiar. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. If it resonated, definitely give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family, and do subscribe for more.